Hey guys, and welcome back to another doll customizing video. In today's video, I wanted to make a doll based on the cold weather coming here to Minnesota, so I made this kawaii / decor-kei girl inspired by that style mixed with winter clothes. And as you can see, my mini-me already has her winter clothes on because there's actually snow on the ground at this moment in Minnesota. This video is coming out a little bit later than I would have hoped, but I had different plans for the intro, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted, but I still really wanted to post this video for you guys, so here we go. Originally, I had planned for this doll just to have a lot of layers based on the cold weather, but when I saw this doll, I really wanted to make her a layered kawaii looking girl, so I decided on this Howleen from Monster High. As you can see, I had actually tried to repaint her face prior to this, and I guess I didn't like the way it was going, so I put her back into my stock box, but here I'm taking my 100% pure acetone to remove her face. I'm not sure exactly when I first tried to repaint this doll's face, but I know when I first started repainting, I had a lot of trouble with the Monster High molds because they had more of a structured face, and they were a bit smaller than the Ever After High face molds, so I had a lot of trouble in the beginning with those. But now that I've gotten better at my technique, I think I am able to do them a lot nicer, and I actually finished a Laguna doll along with this doll that I just didn't decide to make a video for, but I did post a picture of her on my Instagram, so if you want to see how I made Laguna a little bit better than her factory face, go ahead and check out my Instagram. And as you can see, I'm still wrapping her up for her first layer of MSC, and I do thoroughly try to wrap their hair and their body because I don't like the MSC getting onto their hair because it makes it a little bit sticky or chalky, and I don't normally body blush them either, but I would like to try sometime. And in order to keep myself from saying watercolor pencils the whole time of this video, I'm showing you the colors I'm using. I also use a yellow later, but that's just very minimal. And these are of course Derwent brand. So for the first layer of MSC, I go ahead and blush her face, and I use this soft pink to initially blush her cheeks, forehead, nose, and a little bit on her chin. Since this doll has a bit of a darker skin tone, she's more of a caramel color, I do go a little bit heavier on the blushing, especially since she is going to be a kawaii girl. I wanted the face up to look very cute, and since I wanted her to be cute and not very mature looking as compared to my other dolls, I decided to instead blush her lips as well and not go in with a very solid looking lip line. And I did have a little bit of trouble with her top eyeliner, getting them pretty even and giving myself enough space to complete her eye that I decided to skip it out of the video, but I decided to go a little bit higher than the actual mold that she has for her top eye. That way it gave me more space to draw the pupil and the bottom waterline at a kind of normal area. I don't know what I'm saying. I guess what I'm saying is that the top eyeliner, I didn't want to take up space from the actual eye mold that she has already, so I decided to go higher. That way it doesn't make her eye too small and hard for me to repaint. Since her outfit is going to be pretty bright compared to her darker skin, I decided to give her more of a neutral look, but I do add some jewels later on that make her face very kawaii looking, and I think I do like the simple eyes with the decorations. I don't think the eyes necessarily should take away from the doll, so that's why I like doing more natural or neutral looking eyes. And for those of you still watching, I would love to know what you guys think of this voiceover than my other ones in the past. I'm trying to make them more of a conversation rather than a step-by-step plan compared to my last ones where I just tell you what I'm doing and what I'm doing on camera. I would rather tell you guys my thought process behind exactly what I'm doing because I think that's more important. But if you guys would rather have me just tell you what I'm doing and what products I'm using, I can go back and do that differently, but I think it's more important to let you guys know why and what I'm doing because I think it adds more to the doll and it gives more reasoning to why I'm doing it, if you guys know what I mean. So if you would let me know in the comments below, I would love to hear your guys' opinions. This is still the first layer of MSC, so I'm still just putting down the initial colors that I'm going to go over in the next few layers of MSC, so I gave her her pink eyebrows, which I'm going to make darker and give the ombre look later, but since this is the first layer of MSC, I'm not going to do that now. And the pink is still a little lighter than I would like, so I do go in more with a magenta later to match her more hot pink hair. I believe this is when I give her her second spray of MSC, so now I go in with my dark brown and a warmer brown to go over the initial layers that I had already created to make her eyes a bit more darker. As you can see, the right side is much more vibrant and much more visible compared to the left side. And I gave the ombre look to her eyebrows right there with a warm brown. And I also go over her lips with a dark shade of pink pastels and a light pink on the outer corner of her lips just to give it a bit more of a shadow. Now I take my dark brown watercolor pencil to draw on her bottom lashes and her top lashes. As you can see, I had already done them on the left side as a just quick preview as to what I'm going to do next. For some reason, her eyelashes were very hard to draw on and get even, but I think I'm getting over the perfectionist in me of making them absolutely symmetrical, because obviously eyelashes are not perfectly symmetrical on people, and I think I'm finally letting myself get over that, which is very good when coming to doll customizing. So after a third layer of MSC, I do finally take a pink watercolor pencil to give her lips a bit more dimension, and I take a cream watercolor pencil and a caramel colored pencil to give her a bit more shadows and highlights. And I do draw on a few lines for her smile. I kept them pretty straight because I didn't want her to look a little creepy, too high of a smile, so I kept them pretty straight out. But now I added some Pearl X powder to give her face some shine. And I believe this is the end of her face up. And after taking her out of her wrap, I noticed that her hair was still kind of messy, so I restyled it just a little bit, pretty much pulling her ponytails a little bit tighter and pulling her bangs back into this little pin, which I hid by using this little pink pin just to stick through the ponytail and hold it in place. Since Howleen is a little sister body type, I didn't have many options for the shoes. Those purple ones are Bunny Blanc shoes and these bottom ones are Troll shoes, and I had already planned on giving her actual leg warmers, so I decided on these shorter boots. I think since I've been letting my nails grow so I can repaint them, I've been doing this on dolls as well now, but I take this pink acrylic paint to repaint her nails, and I take this light blue paint to repaint her shoes. I was actually debating if I wanted to repaint her shoes using this light blue or a dark brown, and I wanted them to actually stay looking like sneakers, so that's why I decided on this light blue. There's actually a lot of people here in Minnesota who still wear sneakers even when the snow is like 3 feet deep. I'm not sure how they do it. I always have my boots up to my knees. After getting a pretty solid layer of paint down, I actually spray them with a layer of MSC in order to go over the shoelaces with a watercolor pencil instead of repainting them, because this way I get a lot more detail. I do go over them once more. It looks pretty patchy right now, but in the end I do go over it to make it a bit more solid of a color. These are the fabrics I decided to use for her outfit. This unicorn one is for her jacket, and this orange and polka dot one is for her dress that goes underneath the jacket, and this lace I use for just a detail on her dress. Next, I take my very trustworthy dress pattern and cut the pieces out for the top. The next thing I do is take that top piece and the two bottom side panels and sew them together at the shoulders like so. And next I go ahead and hem the neckline and the bottom of the sleeves using Fabri-Tac glue. After hemming those pieces, I take a little bit of this lace to use as a frill for the front of the dress. After attaching that with a bit of Fabri-Tac glue, I go ahead and attach the sleeves and close up the top before moving on to the bottom of the dress. I've actually recently hit 1,000 followers on Instagram, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. So I'm going to be including some fabrics and a custom doll face up. So if you guys want to know how to enter that, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, where I'll be posting more about that in the near future. I decided to give this dress 2 layers with this orange plaid and the blue polka dot, so I made the bottom part about 7.5 centimeters and the top layer about 5 centimeters, and I usually go by this dimension for my other dresses, which is 30 centimeters, in order to give myself the necessary ruffle look that I want. After hemming the bottom parts of the skirts, I go ahead and lay them together and do a very loose stitch at the top in order to be able to actually pull the thread and create the ruffle look like so. In order to make sure that the ruffle is the same length as the top of the dress, I go ahead and just kind of measure it like so, where I connect it from one end and just make my way to the other end and see how much of an excess, or if I need to actually loosen up the ruffle for the dress to connect all the way on the other side. And as you can see, I had a bit more excess, but I think I ended up cutting it off because I had too much of a ruffle and it was making it difficult for me to attach. And in order to prevent the dress from kind of bending over like this, I go ahead and do a top stitch at the front of the dress in order for it to lie flat. After doing the top stitch, I go ahead and finish the dress by closing it in the back, and I was actually deciding if I wanted to do Velcro or just sew her directly into the dress, and I did want this doll to have removable pieces, so I decided just to add Velcro in the back of the dress where I'm kind of pointing at with my fingers. And to add just a bit more detail, I decided to take these very tiny buttons that I got from Joann Fabrics and glue them onto the front of that little ruffle. For her jacket, I followed the exact same steps that I did for the dress. I just made the pattern pieces a little bit bigger because of the dress that's going underneath. And I just left the back, I guess, of the dress the front because it is already opened. For her leg warmers, I took this old sock. I think it was my little sister's baby sock. And I just made these little tubes, and I go ahead and add a bit of the lace that I used for the dress in order to decorate the top. So next, taking that same sock material, I decided to take this green one and make it into a scarf. Next, I take these glass charm bottles that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to repeat the same process that I have in past videos. And I take this chain that I also got at Hobby Lobby and attach it with this lobster clasp. In order to keep the glass bottle from moving around and making it easier for the glitter not to fall everywhere, I stick it into this piece of foam that I have, and I use a piece of cardboard to kind of give myself a slide, I guess, for the glitter to slide down and easily pour into the glass charm bottle. After filling up the glass bottle with some yellow and green glitter, I go ahead and attach the cork using Fabri-Tac glue and a piece of tulle. Now that her final accessory is complete, I take my Liquitex High Gloss Varnish to gloss her waterline and her lips. And I do this at the end because I do try on her clothes and I don't want her hair or her clothes to stick to her lips or her eyes. And as a quick speed through, I go ahead and dress her on camera because I think it's a bit more fun to see how many layers she has. And I really love this jacket with that lace at the bottom. I think it is so cute. And after this, I actually decorate her face with a few charms and her hair with a few little like diamond beads, I guess. And had actually made this little cape for her, but it stuck out around her shoulders a little too much, as you can see. So I decided not to include that in her outfit. And moving on to final photos, I really love this doll. I think she is so cute with the little diamond beads in her hair and those little charms on the side of her face. I think it matches the outfit pretty well. I'm glad I added those. Her outfit is so cute and kawaii. I don't think it's very decor-kei. I think decor-kei is a bit more mismatched, but I think it's very cute, and I love the layers, especially for this cold weather coming here to Minnesota. Let me know what you guys think about her outfit. Especially with this cold weather coming here to Minnesota, I think she is very bright and cheerful for this upcoming holiday season. I think I will put her on Etsy, so if you guys want to buy her, she will be there in a few days. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new or like this video. If you want to be part of that giveaway, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I will be posting more information about that soon. Thank you guys again. Bye!